Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, this is new setup. I don't usually film from this setting, but that's because I just moved into a new apartment, which I uploaded in my previous video, so check that out if you want to get the full tour. But yeah, different setup, different place, loving it. But that's not why we're here. We're talking about my job as a special education teacher, and basically, I'm going to tell you, well, more like vent to you about why I totally understand teachers are quitting. Oh boy. Well, first things first, the amount of paper. Sorry, let me go back a little bit. My experience is strictly just, like I said, within special education teaching. Not so much gen ed, however, I have seen almost firsthand what gen ed teachers go through as well, because obviously I talk with them a lot, I interact with them and their students, and sometimes we'll vent to each other about the struggles that we go through as teachers, both special ed and gen ed. So just wanted to make that clear before I go into it. But basically, first things first, oh my god, the amount of paperwork you have to do, especially for IEPs. For those who don't know what IEPs are, if you're in special education, you have what's called an individualized educational plan. It lists, to sum it all up, it lists what your present levels, aka what your current grades are in gen ed, what you can do well, what you can't do very well, along with what your goals should be. So for example, a student might have like a math goal for multiplication, division, or a writing goal where they'll write like a couple sentences with correct grammar, basically stuff like that. Occasionally they'll have behavior goals as well, but my position specifically, I'm resource, so for resource, you don't really usually get behavior goals from the kids, because resource is more academic based, whereas the classes that people typically think of when they hear the word special ed are like the special day classes, aka self-contained classes. Those might typically have more behaviors in them. Those tend to be smaller class sizes, but more targeted for their needs. And also, just real quick, some programs out there are also called classroom enrichment program, I think, aka CEP. That's more behavior based, because the students in those programs are academically pretty good, but they just need extra help when it comes to managing their emotions and behaviors. So just wanted to get those variations out there. But like I said, the amount of paperwork you have to do, oh my god, especially for resource. If you're a resource, you have a caseload of like, on average, like around 20. I have 28 right now, and so 28 students, managing paperwork for all 28 of them. Holy crap, I feel like I'm never gonna get caught up, because you have to run these meetings for parents of each 28 kids. And then update the IEP based on the meeting and the goals you proposed and all the other stuff that goes into it that would take forever to go over. And then submit it to the district, and wash, rinse, repeat for each kid that you have a meeting for. Oh my god, it's such a long and arduous process. And then don't even get me started on the paper, on the assignments that you have to provide for each kid as well, to do lessons with them in order to work on their goals. It's taxing and so time consuming, and there have been times where I've brought my work laptop home and did some of that work here, and it sucks because I've always been someone who really, 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 really wants work-life balance, and this job isn't really getting it. Or giving it, I should say. And I know teachers get the holiday breaks off. I know they get summers off, winter break, spring break, sometimes fall break. I don't get fall break, but some teachers and classes do. And then a couple like random holidays or days in between there that you get off. But man, I if this feels like 2 or 3 jobs in one, I don't I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know if this is something I want to do long term. Because after being in this, doing this for almost a whole school year, it's really hitting me to the point where I'm just like, oh my god, I don't know if I want to do this year after year after year. Like, and not also speaking about gen ed teachers' experiences from what they told me, it seems like it's just year after year, it's just getting worse for a lot of gen ed teachers. I mean, now granted, my circle is kind of small, so this is like an anecdotal experience, but but us poor teachers, we're getting so burnt out by just not just the paperwork, but also the parents being given so much power these days. Like these parents are like so picky about you know what their child needs, and if those needs aren't granted in a very specific way that they want, they go off on their respective teacher. The teacher gets stressed out, and it just becomes like a whole day ruiner. And I feel like in the school districts, the one I work for is pretty good, but like I just feel like these districts give these parents way too much power. Like there was, I'll give another example. There was a student, kindergartner specifically, who we assessed for academic speech, occupational therapy, I think mental health as well. Some schools have mental health programs called ERMS, ERMHS. Don't remember the full acronym right now, but the last 3 letters stand for mental health services. But basically, assessed her. She did not qualify for anything. Didn't qualify for academic, speech, occupational therapy, mental health. Mom threw a fit and said that she was going to go the IEE route, so which stands for Individualized Educational something. I don't remember what the last E stands for right now, but basically it's a thing where you can if you disagree with the results of the assessments given for your child, you can go through the school district to get what's called an IEE to get a second opinion. Now, when this happens, the school district pays, well, my school district, I don't know about other school districts, sorry, my school district pays $7,500 for each IEE they do. That is a ton of money right there. And the school district just okayed it, even though there was conclusive evidence the child did not need anything at all. And when I got news of this through my school psychologist, because she tells me everything, we're kind of little gossip buddies, I was appalled, because it's like, oh my god, that money can be used for so much more things. Like additional classroom supplies, or spreading the wealth pay for teachers who definitely deserve a massive raise for all the BS that we go through. And yeah, and so, and like I said, this is just like a couple of many, many, many things I have issues with. If I were to list all of them, this video would be 3 hours long. I'm not here to bore you guys with a 3-hour video. I'm just here to vent and just say that I fully get it now. I fully get why teachers are quitting. On top of that, I forgot to add this reason in, the lack of support. I realized that when a lot of teachers, especially new ones, quit, it's because they said, well, a lot of the time they say it's because they don't feel like they're being supported by either the district or administration, or maybe sometimes even other teachers, or what have you. That has been really felt this year, not just with me, but also with the teachers I work with, and a couple of whom have been at that school for many years, because a lot of the complaints have been about both the district and administration not being as supportive and like for example, conflicts with parents as a could be, you know, and also I'm have a fellow teacher at the same school who's really going through it. She's a SDC teacher, a special day class teacher, who has 3 aides, and she teaches 5 grades in one classroom. 5 grades for one teacher, 3 aides, but one teacher. She has about 8, 9 students in there, but all the students in there are of different grades. How the hell does one teacher teach 5 grades each day? I know she has 3 aides, but that's not. So hopefully you see where I'm like getting at with this. Like that's and this poor teacher, she's so sweet and kind, but she this year broke her. Literally a week or 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, she was telling me about how she didn't feel the support she needed, and that she was really reconsidering being a teacher after the school year, which was shocking me because I never see this woman like genuinely pissed off before. Like, you know, she holds it together pretty well. She's soft spoken, but that was a day where I'm just like, whoa, you know, it's getting really bad when someone like her is like really just furious and done. So, and I'm kind of feeling it too. Don't get me wrong, I've had, you know, a couple people visit me and try to, you know, give me some good tips and suggestions on how to do lesson planning and how to sort out like behaviors and conflicts with other teachers. It just, I personally feel like I was oversold on the amount of support that I would be getting. Like, it just, I'm sorry, I'm struggling to find the words right now because I didn't think I would ever reach this point where I would really be reconsidering this career path, but I am. Because, you know, going off on a little side tangent here, I've always struggled with finding a career path in my life for literally the longest time. And I thought I found it, but now I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, good God, I don't know if I want to continue on this path. You know, I really don't know. So, and the thing is, the school I work at, it's not, it's not, how do I describe it? It's not a behavior-based school. So, for example, the school is like, the families are relatively wealthy. So I go to like a basically upper middle class type of school. So behaviors there aren't really an issue. But that leads credence to the fact that families are going to be more entitled and picky with what they want best for their child. And if they don't get their way, well, you know, sometimes they'll go as far as, you know, lawsuit, suing, because I live in California. California is a very sue-happy state. But the thing is, these families have that money. So, you know, it's like a catch-22. Oh, yeah, I work at a school where the kids are pretty well behaved, but you also deal with very entitled parents. Whereas on the flip side, generally speaking, if you work at a school where behaviors are more common, but the class system is on the lower end, you have parents who, you know, again, generally speaking, aren't really taking really good care of the students, but they're generally not as picky and entitled as the students, like, or as the families like in my school are, if that even makes any sense. So, even though I feel like I really lucked out with the students at the school, I'm still feeling the burnout, the reconsideration, the absurdity of it all. And so, and prior to entering this field, like I kind of knew what I was getting into. Like I I've read the complaints online about what teachers go through. I shouldn't say complaints. The ventings, what teachers go through, issues with the district not really being supportive, them pulling shady stuff, parents getting too much power. Like, I knew all that before going in, but I remember telling myself, "Oh, that's okay. I can whatever comes my way, I can handle it, and I will power through. This is the path I'm meant to be on." Well, fast forward to now, and I don't think I can handle it. I don't think I can because, well, basically for everything I just listed in this video. And as I said, teachers who have been in the school for many years are really feeling it too. I have one teacher who's worked at the school for 11 years, and she said, she's a third grade teacher, and she said that if her class is anything like this year for next year, she's gonna quit. And it just really got me into a little bit of a spiral and thinking, God, what the hell is going on with education in America these days? It is a hot mess. And it really makes me worry for the future generations because, I know to the many reasons, a lot of them have such poor literacy skills. I just realized this. I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning. I work in an elementary school, so kindergarten to fifth. But still, a lot of them have such poor literacy skills. Even the fifth graders, for math board problems, they don't even read the problem properly. They just read like a couple of words or see the numbers part of the problem and be like, oh, okay, that's what I need to do, and then solve it. And then they end up getting the problem wrong. And not only that, I'll give an example. The students who do open book tests, I've been in the classroom, and also my classroom, so both Jenna classroom and my classroom, when the kids are taking open note or open book tests. For these tests, a lot of them don't even use the book to answer the questions. Like, I literally have to go to these kids and be like, hey, you guys, do you realize you can use your books, right? You don't have to guess. Okay? And then they'll be like, oh, that's right, okay, thank you. And then they'll look in the book, but then you also have some students who, even when they do go and look in the book, they'll like just give up right at the start to figure out where to look, or they'll have like the biggest trouble searching for it. And you know, I'm giving some of these students some grace because some of these students have academic needs, and I just want to make it very clear, I am not knocking that part. That is not the part I'm knocking at all. I'm talking about, aside from that piece, these kids, so many of them just they're so needy. A lot of them lack independence. And honestly, I blame things like, you know, I mainly blame things like TikTok. Because TikTok is such like rapid information, and I'm not on TikTok. I will never get on TikTok. I used it briefly some years ago. I will never get on it again. But TikTok, like, it has, you know, your typical video, like is like 30 seconds at most, spewing rapid fire information at you. Then you go to the next video. That's what these kids are dealing with. That's what these kids are implementing into the classroom. They don't want to read the whole thing unless someone's there quite literally guiding them through it. So, yeah, that's my rant in a nutshell. So I really do fear what education is going to look like in like 10 years. You know? I don't know. And it's making me a little emotional too because, you know, these kids, they're they're not to blame for any of this. You know, a lot of it is the parents. A lot of it is the parents' faults. You know, I don't like saying that because I know a lot of parents are doing their best to raise their kids in the best way they can. But at the same time, they're giving them so much access to the online world and not implementing like traditional like study tricks at home, or how do I word it? Like having them be independent, putting them doing things like, okay, you either do your homework properly tonight or no video games for you afterwards, or you're grounded or something like that. They're not doing that anymore. Parents, so many parents these days are so lenient, and it's really just, it's a shame. You know, it's a shame. So if you watch this whole video in its entirety, thank you for following along. Yeah, I'll update you guys in the near future about what my decision is if I want to continue being a teacher, because right now it's a major toss-up. And as I said before, I get it. If you're a teacher and you're watching this, I get what you're going through 100%. I feel for you, and I hope things get better for your guys' individual situations. If you are going through it right now, I mean, I know there's some lucky teachers out there who are not going through that, and you know, Godspeed to them. So happy for you guys if you're not going through these woes, but a large portion of us teachers are. So, thank you again so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Bye, guys.